Welcome to 40K Data Slate Review. This video will go over the Adeptus Astartes unit, Aggressors. Aggressor squads are a new addition to the Space Marines with the release of 8th edition. Identical to other Primaris Marines in stats, except for two important distinctions. Aggressors have a toughness and movement of 5. For the most part, the toughness boost is keeping small arms fire, wounding on 5s, and things like las cannons and melta weapons, wounding on 3s instead of 2s. Their 2 wounds further keeps damage from small arm fire to a minimum. Aggressors benefit from the normal Adeptus Astartes special rules. They can combat squad and reroll morale checks. In addition, when the aggressors remain stationary in their turn, they can fire twice, including Overwatch. Aggressors have a choice between 2 weapon loadouts: the Auto Boltstorm Gauntlets with Fragstorm Grenade Launcher, or the Flamestorm Gauntlets. Basically, the Boltstorm's a lot of bolter shots, and the Flamestorm's a lot of flamer shots. 8th edition makes flamers often the preferred choice, but in this case, I would almost always recommend the Boltstorm. Don't get me wrong, 4d6 per model of automatically hitting attacks on Overwatch sounds awesome. But with flamers, you'll have to be moving around a lot, which means they miss out on the double fire ability. The even bigger downside of the flamers is that it prevents aggressors from interacting with units that deploy 9 inches away. Aggressors with Flamestorm Gauntlets don't get to fire in Overwatch against these models. For these reasons, I feel the Auto Boltstorm Gauntlets are the better choice. 6 plus d6 strength 4 shots at 18 inches is pretty cool, averaging about 9 shots per model and 19 when remaining stationary. Aggressors ignore the penalty for advancing and firing assault weapons, giving these models an average threat range of 26 inches. Also, it's worth mentioning with either gauntlets you choose, the aggressors are getting strength 8, AP 3, D3 damage attacks in combat. With either weapon the Space Marine player chooses, aggressors are your horde killer. With the ubiquity of light, weak chaff units, aggressors will come in handy often. Aggressors are one unit that you can leave on their own, but they're exponentially enhanced by rerolls to hit and wound. So the usual HQs like the Chaplain, Lieutenant, and Captain are all well used on the aggressors. The Apothecary is also a decent choice to keep a large unit of aggressors alive. Just don't take an Apothecary thinking it will keep 3 aggressors alive, as the opponent should pretty easily be able to take out 3 in a single turn. The Repulsor is the only vehicle that can transport aggressors, and can hold up to 5. This option does make the Flamestorm Gauntlets a bit better, as it keeps them safe while they get into the range. Sacrifice an aggressor or 2 to keep some support characters like the Primaris Lieutenant and or Apothecary nearby. In terms of stratagems, there are a lot to use with the aggressors. Honor the Chapter makes them a big combat threat as long as they can survive the entire fight phase. With their powerful Overwatch combined with this, the opponent really won't want to charge them, so they can be a bit more aggressive. The best stratagem to use with the aggressors is definitely Auspex Scan. Keep these guys near the outer edges of the Space Marines force and watch them decimate the opponent before they can react. If the opponent is smart, they will deploy outside of 12 inches, but this obviously protects the Space Marines from charges. This is a big deterrent to Sicarian Infiltrators, Gene Stealers, and Scion Command Squads. This stratagem is another point for Boltstorm Gauntlets, as Auspex Scan doesn't work with Flamestorm variant. There are multiple chapters that enhance aggressors. White Scars would make the unit surprisingly fast, increasing their maximum movement to 13 inches and threat range to 31 inches. Imperial Fists are not a very popular chapter at the moment, but aggressors with Boltstorm Gauntlets may find their place. Armies like Adeptus Mechanicus somewhat rely on cover bonuses to keep them alive, so the chapter tactics aren't totally useless. Their stratagem is the important part though. On a 6 to hit with their gauntlets, the aggressors can make another attack. In addition, keeping the squad near an HQ with their Warlord trait would give them a bit extra protection and cover. Salamanders is another faction not widely used that would be viable. Their chapter tactics, Master Artisans, would give the aggressors a slight boost, and when running the Flamestorm Gauntlets, their stratagem would give the squad +1 to wound. Ultramarines are just a generally good chapter, and Guilliman enhances the aggressors greatly. Not only does Rebute give them all the rerolls they need, he also grants them an increase to their advanced moves. Ultramarines' chapter tactics will be helpful for keeping the aggressors from getting stuck in combat with hordes. Raven Guard offers a lot of synergies to the aggressors as well, -1 to hit outside of 12 inches keeps the aggressors safer, and the stratagem is excellent combined with the unit. Having the option to drop them 9 inches away before the game starts is awesome, and another reason to take the Boltstorm Gauntlets. Set them up 18 inches away to shoot without counting as moving, or set them up 9 inches away to be able to charge first turn. Obviously, aggressors can get something out of really any of the Adeptus Astartes chapters, and thus are fairly versatile. Facing aggressors isn't all that bad. They may get a turn of firing, but it's easy to wipe them off the table pretty quickly. The extra toughness is nice, but they're not that much tougher from regular Primaris Marines. Keep the amount of wounds a unit of aggressors has on it in mind. If a model in a unit has 1 wound, fire your damage 1 weapons of the unit. If all the models in the unit have their full 2 wounds, hit them with your multi-damage weapons. This keeps you from wasting a multi-damage shot on a model with only 1 wound left. Unless a unit can definitely take the firepower and subsequent fist attacks, melee should be avoided with these targets. Shooting them is the safest way to take them down. When deploying your reserves, remember Auspex Scan's range of 12 inches, and don't let the aggressors take down the unit before it gets to do anything. Aggressors receive a 4 out of 5, because although they are slightly expensive individually, the current meta makes them extremely useful. Killing hordes is an important part of the game, and aggressors do it excellently. What do you think of Aggressor Marines? What data slates would you like to see reviewed on the channel? Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and thanks for watching.